Okay, these were a popular little amp, sometimes for the wrong reasons, and I'll tell you why. They tuned so easily to a band above the 430, 440 meg band. We used to see everything from CB radio operators to taxi drivers to, my goodness, these amps were popular. It's the Tokyo Hypower HL45Cu. And just actually demonstrating on a radio we'll be actually selling very soon, which is the IC, sorry, no, it's not the TS-790. So pretty low output out of these things, 5 to 10 watts basically, and often an amplifier like this on each band suited these radios, especially 270, but obviously 1296 as well, that can be found on them. This one's got a slight little issue, but as you can see, appears like it's all okay, but unfortunately it's not quite everything it needs to be. It's got a little issue with 1296, which is just going to be sold as is, but we'll get to that one later. So great little amp. So we can put in about 6 watts there, and bang off the scale. Depending on where this is tuned at, it would vary. 40-45 watts is, generally a good indicator by the actual model number. And what a lot of people liked about these, believe it or not, is this function here, and worth showing. So there's my signal on UHF. It's S2.5 or something. Have a look at these preamps on these things. They are brilliant. Now, you might say, well, it doesn't seem that huge, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. And we'll just... So it's slightly noisy there, and it just goes rock solid. It really does. Now, if I just crank that up a bit, in real dB, we could probably work this out. Now, I've put a fair bit of cranking power into that now. So let's just drop the receive preamp out, like so. Wow. Actually, that's showing you S9 to nearly 20 dB there. So it's about a 20 dB gain, roughly. Somewhere between 15 20 dB, I would say. And working quite well. Now, what I will add is that that noise is annoying, is that this particular amp here has every possibility that somebody's got it. What's the loosely used term? Broadbanded, because I reckon on 430 megs at the moment, whilst it's working beautifully, I just having a quick look at it, I think it's probably, if I was to put let's just say a 476 meg signal into it, it probably would give me a bit more power at the moment. I think it's tuned more to the top end of UHF than it is to the bottom. This was very, very typical of a lot of these style amplifiers, and especially the taxi drivers back in the day. They had a lot bigger amps than this, I can tell you. This actually relatively small compared to some of the ones that were out there. But look, it's quite a good design. Very simple in a lot of respects, but you could actually remote turn it on and off by that back plug on there. So there was a way to set up a remote switch. But overall, this one's extremely clean, so we'll get this one up for sale. And look, obviously, sorry, I'll just show you it working a sideband. That was something I meant to do before. Let's have a look. So we just have a look at our average here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's not PEP there overly. Actually, just let me click over. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now you can sort of see the meter there, and we switch this little fella on and it'll just peg over. 1, 2, yeah, okay. All right, so definitely we know that amplifier is producing very, very good power. The only reason I don't want to go into the absolutely true accuracy of it, it will depend on what someone uses it on, what frequency, what becomes the sort of the desired use. As a adjunct to that, some of you commercial guys, you can run these up to a certain figure in your commercial applications, I won't go into the laws on what they are, but yeah, you know, if you fed 5 watts into one of these and you were producing, say, 25 on a lot of commercial applications, you'd be quite legal. If you put 4 to 5 watts of CB power into it and produce 25 to 40 watts of power on UHF CB, you will not be illegal. It will be illegal. I'm going to get this right in a minute. So, you know, just be mindful that, I mean, everybody knows what they can do. Everybody knows that they are potentially great little weapons on UHF CB. We try to sell these to people who are going to use them on, particularly amateur radio would be nice. Look, we have sold them in commercial circumstances for many years ago for applications that actually warranted it. We've had people with 100 watt licenses. This is more on base stations, etc. And of course, you know, they're quite legal to do that. But you know, the gains on UHF CB, I get it. You know, you start putting this through a 10 dB base antenna or even a couple of beams that are co-phased. Yeah, it can be some enormous final EIRP. It really can be so. But as ACMA will tell you, it can also be some enormous fines. So, you know, be a little bit careful of that. Just wondering, I might do a separate little look at this. No, actually, you know what? This is going to be really simple. I might just add this into this video because we can sort of label it. Who knows, the person who buys a radio might buy. Now, there would be a unique and possibly the best situation. Someone buys this radio, buys this amplifier. We know they want to use it on 439 megs. 430 megs, sorry. Anywhere, somewhere up there. Anywhere but 476, 425 or something. Or annoying the truckies on 477, 400. But yeah, look, this is a TS-790 Kenwood, and I might as well do this, pop this into the video because I can sort of get 2 hits for one video here in as much as I'm running short of time, and it'd be nice just to be able to say, well, hey, being quite upfront, tested this radio quite a bit, as you can see on 1, 2, 3 let's just get that back there, bring that over, and we've got to go back to sideband here on 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, and turn some narrow there. Actually, narrow's right. Where's my volume? Oh, there's my volume. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I'm running the amp there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and obviously we showed the signal meter working before on 70 SEMS. I'm just going to swap this antenna cable over because they do have independent ports for 2 and 70 and 1.2, of course. So if we just plug in, what are we on there? 144. Whoops, that's not going to work. Try again. Righto. So no amplifier in line this time, which is not entirely true. And as long as I've got it all off, it'll be fine. Don't worry about that. No, that'll be fine there. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Transmitting beautifully there, and that's a bit noisy, but here we go. Take that down a bit. Oh, I'm on squelch here, hang on. Right on about 0.5 of a microvolt there. Just nicely on 0.5. It's actually hearing under 0.5. Down to about 0.2 of a microvolt there. So they are certainly a nice receiver on these things. And as you can see, I can throw lots of level into it and make it even nicer. Right, get rid of that. Okay, so why is this radio so cheap? When you see the advert, you'll see why. It's because I haven't got the time to sort out a, I think it's a dry joint on 1.2 gigs. And what's been happening is, go to there, bang, bang, bang. But what happens is it loses lock. These little lines, the dots here tell you that it's losing lock. And, but, you know, sort of, it's a real pity because it's, at the moment, it doesn't know where it is on 1.2 gigs. So, you know, that needs looking at. But look, this radio is not going to sell for huge amounts of money for what they normally sell for. So if you're interested in it, it is definitely up for sale. And I wish I had the time because I know it's an easy fault. I really do. I really do. I've got a mate of mine actually has fixed a couple of these said to me, he actually just about compelled me to look, get into it because you'll sort it easily. And I said, yeah, I know, I just do not have the time. I've got a lot on right now with other stuff going on. So certainly contact us. The TS790s they're quite a rare radio these days, and this is cosmetically this is actually quite a nice unit. And I'd even say this much, even if you weren't technically inclined, for the money this is going to sell for a full all-mode 2 meter 70 centimeter radio. So let's say you just thought, I don't care, I don't use 1.2. Actually, this sounds like me. I don't use 1.2. I'm in the country, but I do use 270. Then this could be a really, really good radio, because you can still set up the second display here to be 270, etc., etc. So certainly that's worthwhile. By the way, have a look at this that HR project of ours. This came in the other day. Absolutely beautiful. Really nice condition Holden radio. Very genuine from the day. And that's going into our latest HR project. Anyway, a little bit diverted off the point there. Anyway, so there you go. So basically, we'll get this one up advertised. HL45Cu, UC, get it right. HL45U. Actually, the C, I always used to forget. HL45U. Don't know what the C was actually for. Interesting. Kenwood TS-790 in really nice condition. Certainly one to think about if you think you want to do a bit of 270 this summer. Sideband wise, receiver wise, these are cracking radios for both 2 and 70, no question. And if you think you can sort out what I think is either a lock problem or a dry joint problem in the reason I say I think it's a dry joint problem is I had the cover off at one stage, gave it a tap around, and it came back on 1.2 perfectly, and I thought, okay. And that was quite a long time ago, and I sort of felt at the time I must pull that module out and have a bit of a solder around and see what's going on. It'll be in that phase lock loop PLL area, sort of combine the VCO area, somewhere in there that's, I reckon it's got a bit of a dry joint. But anyway, that I won't sort of attest to being 100% correct, because it's only my observations and until you get into it. But 2 and 70, I can tell you now, very, very nice radio. So certainly give us a call. I'm just looking, I think underneath here is a manual for it. Hang on, sorry, there's just so much crap here. Yeah, 790A manual sitting there. So, yeah, sorry, I just want to check that. And that'll give you some benefits in trying to be able to sort of work through it if it ends up being yours. Okay, all right, well, all good. Thanks very much for having a quick look at this video. And we've got a few more coming up, just trying to get through a bit of gear at the moment, trying to clear a bit of space in this. This is my personal room at the moment, where I normally have my own radio gear, and as you can see, it's just cluttered with stuff that just does not need to be in here at the moment, and I'm really serious. It's terrible. There's an old stoner sitting over there. Oh jeez. Yeah. So anyway, just bits and pieces. All right. Thanks very much for having a look at the video. Please subscribe, hit the like button, all that stuff, and I want to try and get over that 5,000 level. Soon if we can, and we've got a few things to try and provoke that coming up. I can tell you now there's a few giveaways coming up that I think might get a few people on board. Anyway, we'll be drawing this month's giveaway probably about a week's time. Yeah, I'd say about a week's time, and that one obviously will go out to the winner, and we've got a lovely email from the last winner from the month before, and thank you very much, much appreciated. And I'm glad you and your son are enjoying the hobby, and it's a whole new sort of venture for you. Cheers all the best.